don't care. I love you not. Should I stay or should I break your heart? Hi! Yeah. Let me get up. Yeah. Hi! Hiya. I'm existing. I should probably change where I have my iPad. In a second, what am I stepping on? I'm stepping on stuff. Ew. Okay, I put this over here. And like that, and like that, and like that. No, that's not working. Ah! What did I mess up? Oh god. Okay, there. I'm here. Hello! Hi. Hello, people. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised many people haven't been able to make it to my lives. I came here mostly to ramble about stuff that's happened today, which is a lot of stuff actually. Today, I wasn't woken up. Actually, my day started off basically waking up to my sister smacking me with, where is it? This is heavy as hell. And I was peacefully asleep. Suddenly, right on my gut. Oh, how it hurt. Apparently, my sister had thrown it at me and didn't know it was full of stuff. So, she regrets it. Now, apparently I cursed. When it happened, it hurt. Apparently I yelled like fuck or whatever. And then I went back to sleep. And then I woke up again. It was like 4 a.m. I don't remember. I woke up and my instant thought, back on iPad. Like, I don't know why that has been my brain set. my mindset for so long. For now. I don't know why. It's been my mindset. Wake up, iPad, character AI, whatever the hell. I've been making this story and it's chaotic. It's chaotic. At some point, like, Ninjago characters, Moro and Kai end up, like, transferred in a different realm with the bounty, and everyone else is missing. Like, they're like, where the hell did everyone go? Moro sees a dragon, he screams, Kai, hothead, tamale. What? Kai's like, what the fuck? Oh! Both of them, like, scatter and, like, hide, and they're like, oh my god, that's a fucking dragon! And at some point they calm down and they're like, where the fuck are we? What the fuck's happening? Moro ends up screaming again. It's a tentacle kraken thing in front of the bounty. Because they crashed and they are in the water. And there's just a tentacle sticking out of the water. And it starts heading towards him. Moro screams, like shrieks, grabs Kai, and drags. He drags him inside, slams the door closed, and, like, holds himself against it. And Kai's like, what is happening? And Moro's like, I don't know, I'm panicking. And he looks down at the floor and he's like, is that a fucking fish? And there's a fish flopping on the floor. And Kai's like, the whole Kraken attack just slips his mind, and he's like, how the hell did a fish get in here? After that, there's like 2 people at the door. Moro's like, oh hell. Guy's like, what's happening? It's chaotic. It's crazy. The 2 people are like 2 like green people, like green elf ears, whatever the hell. Sassy pirate type of people, and Moro tries fighting one of them. Like, attempts to, like, just whoosh off the damn bounty, which is
something. Something. Currently I'm at the point where it's like, I don't even know anymore. They've like hidden away back in the bounty and are just like, what the fuck are we supposed to do right now? And yeah, I had that whole story, and after like a bunch of that, at some point in time I felt my eyes start to close again, and I couldn't keep my eyes open for long enough to actually continue doing my story, so I fell asleep. And then I woke up again. And like that, I had finished like half of the story at that point. I finished the other half when I woke up again. After like a while later, I got a little bored of the story, so I went in to do a different one, where I was practicing my Spanish, and I made Moro like half Hispanic or whatever the hell, because for some reason my whole brain's just Moro. I didn't do that. You saw absolutely nothing. So, yeah, and he's half Hispanic, he's talking Spanish, it's crazy. I learned a few more Spanish words from the song, along with doing that, Google Translate. I enjoyed it, fun. Yes, fun. That was not a good, jumping around was not a good idea. But at some point, my mom came in and she was like, hey, you, get ready. We're going to your high school. And I was like, oh my God, we're going to my high school. And she was like, and we're going to your sister's middle school. And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to my sister's middle school. So I don't get ready until like about 1 p.m. We're supposed to leave at like 2. She walks in, she's like, you should be ready by now. I'm like, it takes me 5 minutes, Ma. She leaves, like, quickly. I put this on. This is not the same outfit. I had stripped myself of all of the, like, scene accessories to the point I was just this stitched shirt and my shorts. And I looked emo. When I got home. But I put it back on because I don't know why. I like the outfit. It looks cute. Like, don't you think I'm cute? I'm so cute. I'm overconfident. I'm an overconfident person. It boosts my ego. I used to be very self-conscious. Don't tell me I'm, like, dramatic or whatever. It boosts my ego. Helps my insecurities, you know. It's a coping mechanism. Leave me be. Goddamn. So we ended up getting dressed. I ended up getting dressed in this. We ended up going. My mom told me I was too much before. Actually, no. My mom told me I was too much. I ended up taking off a choker, putting on these instead. My sister took one look at me and went, slay! Like, literally, she screamed slay at me, which was nice. And then we left. Like, I convinced my sister to come with because she didn't want to come with, but I convinced her to come with, and we left, and we ended up, like, at my high school, wandering around. I got a bunch of stares. Like, stares from people around, which, hell yeah, you know, like, see my true colors shining through, or whatever the hell. Mama, stop spamming me. Stop spamming me, please. But yeah, chaos. What else? Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was there. When I was there, I got a bunch of stares. I met my, like, first period teacher. He, like, explained to me, like, whatever the hell I'm doing in that school. We ended up going to go get my uniform shirts. And as we were doing that, my sister was, like, fiddling with my hoodie at some point in time. She had pulled it onto me, which was something. What else did my sister do? Because after we got the whole shirt thing, we looked around for a bit more, and there was these cookies on a table. I had told my mom, no, I don't care about the school lunch. I'm not eating school lunch. we looked at the cookies on the other table and was like, okay, maybe I do care about school lunch. My mom ended up talking to the person about school lunch. I was like, my sister grabbed the biggest cookie there. I swear to God, Big Mac is what I told her. I looked at her because my mom pointed out. She's like, she grabbed the biggest cookie there, and I was like, Big Mac, Big Mac, Big Mac, Big Mac. I grabbed like a nearby cookie, smaller, of course, because I'm not my sister. And she ate the cookie, I ate the cookie, and my mom talked to the person there for a bit, and after a bit, my mom left and like started heading out, like her first, and then me and my sister behind, and my sister was like, do you really actually care about that school thing, that like lunch thing? And I was like, no, I just wanted the damn cookie. I just wanted the fucking cookie. So we followed after my mom. At some point in time, she ended up in this really long line for like to figure out like my transportation stuff, because apparently I'm going on the bus now, which I've never done before, which is scary, and I don't want to, but there's a slight possibility that my mom will be able to juggle picking up my brother and me. But my sister wants to go on the bus, so my sister's going on the bus. She ended up in this line, and my sister decided to sit down. I, on the other hand, was still holding all my shirts and stuff, and I nearly dropped them. And I was like, I want to put these away. And she was like, here, go to the car and go put them away. She gave me the keys to the car, so I left. Like, I went to go put away my stuff. I turned the corner, and I was walking. A family was behind me. I look down, I see something on the floor, I pass it, I turn back, and I do this. I'm like, ooh, what's this? The family's still watching me as they approaching. I look this, oh, what's this? Whoa! Yee! And just jug off. They witnessed that entire thing. But I had found a croc charm, a little monkey croc charm, whatever. I have it on my desk over there. It was, I swear, it's so stupid. Knowing people had watched me and I didn't give a fuck. Like, remembering back on it. Because at that point in time, all I cared about was the damn charm I found on the floor. I walked, once I did that thing, I walked over to the car, crossing the road. I had to go down this, slight hill, to which was a workout for me in these goddamn boots. This entire thing, this entire thing, pure, foam. Pure foam. Ugh. I was struggling to walk down that hill. It was like a fucking workout. I was like, holy shit. Going down that thing, I was like, oh, looking, I swear to God, it was crazy. I was struggling. Once that was finished and I, got down the goddamn hill area, I went over to the car, unlocked it. I struggled to unlock it because I was clicking the lock button instead of the unlock button. I opened the car, put the shirts down, just flopped them on my seat because I normally sit in the front seat because I have motion sickness. My sister really does not mind being in the back seat, and she actually enjoys it. So she sits in the back seat or middle when my brother's not there. I'm normally in the front next to my mom. Or passenger next to my mom because motion sickness. So I shove my stuff in there, close the door, struggle to lock it as I'm clicking the unlock button. I don't know why, I confused those two. I finally lock it after a bit, looking down at the thing, and I'm like, okay, why am I not closing this? I click the unlock button, realize what I'm doing, click the lock button, and it closes. I click it a few more times, hearing the car beep, knowing it's fully locked, and leaving, struggling to walk up the hill again. Struggling to walk up the hill again, and then walking back over to the same area I had found the monkey charm, which I had shoved in my pocket at the time, and I had quite literally just found in my pocket as I was explaining this to my girlfriend. And as I was walking, I passed like these like three-ish people. Like someone glared at me, like they were staring. I did not know why. I did not care. Staring. I was stared back. Shoot. Someone else starts coming. Like they're alone. He's alone. He's walking. He looks like a teenager like me. You know. Walking. Calmly looks at me. I'm like, huh? He's like, for a second I think he's gonna insult me or something. He's like, do you know where guidance is? And I was like, oh hell. I have not been here once in my life. I do not know where the fuck guidance is. And I was like, no, I think it's over there. I don't even know where I was pointing. I swear to God, I didn't even know where I was pointing. I think it's over there. And I was like, if you turn the corner, there should be people that are able to help you. And he was like, yeah, I'm fine. And kind of just, turned and left. I awkwardly just shuffled my way back over to where my mom was. Where my mom wasn't, actually. My mom was not there when I returned. My sister was still at her seat, and I was like, where's mom? And she's like, oh, she went inside the building area. And I was like, after a whole schmuck of finding my mom and my mom talking to another person and like them two figuring stuff out with like my bus and whatever, after that we finally head back to the car. I struggle once again, walking down that damn hill. I swear to God, it was my nightmare. I was sweating. It's summer. I'm hot. I'm wearing this. I can't pull my sleeves up because I'm wearing bracelets. And I'm not willing to take them off. I was struggling. I just saw the number go down from like 3 to 1. Thank you to the one person who was watching this still. Goddamn. Like that, okay. Man, damn. Don't care about my rambling, so mean. Anyway. So after that, we got in the car. I finally chillaxed because it was colder. And my mother drove over to my sister's school that was only like 3 minutes away. My sister fought with me over putting my seatbelt on. I was like, do I have to? And she's like, I don't want you flying out the car. And I'm like, it's a 3-minute drive. And she's like, I don't want you flying out the car. I ended up putting my seatbelt on. We got over to the building. My mom ended up cutting someone off. I saw the person raise their hand, and I was like, did you see her flip us off? And my sister was like, no, I didn't look at her. And I was like, oh. Because out of the side view mirror, I saw a hand raise, and my sister laughed. My sister cackled. My mom was like, I don't give a fuck what that lady thinks. I just want out of here. We drove around for a bit. It was packed. Apparently we had gotten to my school late, so not everyone there had seen me in my full glory, so sad. It's fine, I'll get another chance at them, But it was packed, like packed. There was no parking spots at all. My mom drove around for a bit, ended up cutting someone off again. Someone started complaining as we were going, trying to slide in. Someone started complaining before, we even, cut them off, which my mom was, pissed at. She's like, what the fuck? The fuck this bitch doing? She ended up letting that person pass and cutting off the person behind them. Sunny! After that, my mom had gotten bored and ended up, parking on the side, looking at the person from looking at the worker or whatever and calling for them. And instead a student replied, which was, what the fuck? Like, you can't go and help a parent. The student replied, my mom asked if she could just park, like, in this shaded area that was, like, next to the sidewalk in this shaded area where no one else was parked. No one. My mom was like, are we gonna get towed? And you're like, and the person was like, no, they wouldn't go through the trouble of towing you. My mom started a chain reaction. Immediately, when my mom parked, another person had parked behind her. My mom had, like, talked the person into parking behind him. She was like, park closer, if they can't pull both of us. I swear to God, I swear. Oh, I think my face is turning red. Is it? Oh, I don't really care. Fucking lobster. But it was very funny as my mom and her, like, the other parent, like, talked in Spanish. My mom ended up walking into the building, my sister's school. Me and my sister laughing. Actually, as we were driving, no, because that was after. We walked into my sister's school. My sister, was just, like, she was laughing, and also looking for her friend that was also going to the same school. He and her ended up talking. He gave her a bracelet. I was like, what the hell? I gave him a bracelet? Why don't I get a bracelet? And she's like, I gave him a necklace. So I'm better. I get it first. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm not actually pouty about that. I don't really care. They've been friends for like 3 years now. And because of it, I'm friends with him. So it's not really a problem. She and him talked for a bit. He ended up having different classes and having to go separate ways. We ended up having to go separate ways. My mom beating me and my sister around, and at some point we ended up in this line in a classroom, and we were like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? We did not understand the line. I was getting stared at. I was like, what the fuck you want from me? Apparently, before we had entered the classroom, my sister had basically had a stare down with someone else, and I was like, good. She was like, no, basically she told me someone was staring at me. I was like, did you stare back? She was like, yeah. And I was like, good job. Good job. And we walked inside the building with my mom. We ended up waiting in this line for a while just for the person to talk our ears off about, like, some type of classroom stuff. Like, purple days, blue days, even numbers, uneven numbers, like these class, that class, whatever the hell. Fucking rainbow days, I don't fucking know. My sister was paying attention, not me. I was just, I was there. It's middle school. I'm already out of middle school. I'm in high school. I'm close to being out of school. Actually, no, I'm not. I plan to go to college. I'm not anywhere close. I still have college to go to because I really want to have a good education so I can actually get a good job, which is something I need. Because I know for a fact I'm not using YouTube as a stable work thingy in the future. YouTube isn't content creator is not my thing. Obviously, the fact I post so little, it went back down to 1. Damn, people hurt my heart. That one person, stay strong. Stay strong. Oh, it boosted back up to 3. Maybe it was a glitch. Goddamn. So, after that whole you're talking, what happened? My mom ended up, like, going around in circles. Okay, so maybe I'm just glitching. My mom ended up going around in circles, and we were like, Mom, where the hell are you going? She was trying to get out. She was like, I don't know, I'm trying to get out of here. And we were just following my mom. She's walking through these classrooms like she owns the place. My sister and me are laughing like, go, Mom, go. We walk in a circle, walk through this exit, and then leave. And we end up like going past this alley area. Completely confused. There's like 2 building men here. My mom's like, I'm trying to avoid people, and it looks like it's working. It looked so, like, resorted in that singular area as we passed. There was like cardboard against the wall, building material. I don't fucking know. two, like, two men, one a little, like, older, one, like, average aged. I swear. We passed by, my mom was, like, they talked in Spanish, my mom talked back, you know, Hispanic, sprinkle. And we passed by, and I'm like, Mom, what the fuck are you doing? Why are we taking the alleyways? And she's like, I'm avoiding people. I'm like, okay, Mom. And she's like, it's working. And at some point, we ended up talking to this, like, girl. She was like, I don't know, like, 7th grade-ish? Talked to this girl. She told us where a place would be, because we're trying to get to like cafeteria area so my mom can get bus information on my sister. We get to the bus area, some point in time, me and my sister are going back and forth. I kick my sister in the gut. She falls to the floor. I basically go like this. Blah. She goes like this. She goes like this. Oh. And just crouches on the floor. And I'm like, Ma. I tap my mom's shoulder. Mom. Ellie. I accidentally just said my sister's name. Whoopsie daisies. Ignore that. There's only a few people here anyway. And most people don't watch my things. It doesn't matter. And she, like, my sister lurched over because I hit her. My mom's like, what the fuck is happening? Turns back around, starts talking to a person. My sister's finally back up. Like, you know, she was being dramatic, of course. My sister's back up. We talking back and forth. My sister's telling me about how she lost a bracelet, and she also lost a hair charm. She had lost the bracelet, like, as we were entering. I forgot to mention that. But it had just been something that we brought up again while in the whole, like, room my mom was talking to another person with. At some point in time, my sister and me were like, did they teleport? Because we had saw, like, the exact replica of those 2 people at my high school. Talking to them about our bus stuff. About my bus stuff. And now we're talking to them again about her bus stuff. Of course, it wasn't the same people. It was definitely not the same people. But we were like, did they teleport? And my sister was like, I'm not meaning to say, like, all, like, old people are, like, you know, the same. And I'm like, that's racist. And she's like, no, that's skin color. And I'm like, that's oldest. And she's like, what? I don't even know anymore what we were doing. At that point in time, at some point, she corrected me for something. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. It was something. After that, we ended up leaving. My mom wanted out. My sister was whining about needing water. She had been whining about needing water the entire time. And we headed towards the exit. We hadn't seen my sister's friend at all. After that, after we split up, and we didn't plan to, I was like, we'll see him again. We've seen him a lot. We can just plan a meetup. Because they come over a bit. Like, they come over quite a bit. At some point in time, they ended up with a bouncy house in the damn living room, and the 2 toddlers were playing in the bouncy house. My sister and him in her room fucking wrestling. She beats him up. She quite literally tries to break his arm. It's not a whole relationship crush thing. No, she's attempting to break his arm. Also, she looks at woman and goes, "Yeah, no." So yeah, she's jealous of me for having a girlfriend. she normally she'd scold me for that. She'd actually yell at me for that. We headed back to the car. When we came back, let me tell you, my mom, chain reaction at parking in that one area. There were so many cars. I swear to God, there was so many cars. And I was like, Ma. And she was like, hell yeah. And when we started driving off, there was people on the grass now. And I was telling my mom, don't park on the grass. Before that, I was telling my mom, don't park on the grass. You're gonna get the car towed. There's people all over the damn grass. And when we went out, it looked like a damn car sale. Because on the side of this road, not on the side of the road, but like across the side of the road, all over the grass, line of parked cars. Line. I swear to God, my sister was like, is this a car sale? And I responded with, maybe. And my mom does have to go to my brother's school tomorrow, which is going to be a hassle for her since she had to do the stuff today. This all happened today. This is a normal day in my life. Chaos, I swear to God. We ended up back in the car. We started driving, you know. My mom ends up in this long-ass line. She's like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, Ma, 2 middle schools are quite literally having meetings today. Like, that's 3 whole years, like, of worth of students. Times 2. It's gonna be a clusterfuck. Also, I am allowed to curse around my mom. She does not give a damn. My sister too. So, I quite literally tell her this shit. At some point in time, my mom, like, it's an open area. There's like an open area. There's a turn to the side. I don't think my mom's turning. No, my mom leans, like, eases out of the goddamn line we are in into the line that is heading towards us. Like a white van car heading towards us. This song starts playing. I swear to God, perfect timing. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? She's breaking fucking laws here, bitches. She's breaking fucking laws here, bitches and hoes. None of y'all are hoes. I just call things bitches and hoes because I find it funny. She like swerves into this turn. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck? And my sister's laughing in the back. I'm like, Mom's breaking laws! And my sister's like, and my sister's like, not my sister, my mom is like, you kids make me crazy. And I'm like, and the song started playing at the perfect time. No, Mom breaking laws. No. And it's an actual song, like an actual, like, genuine song starts playing. I believe it's like a song that I recognize from Thor. I don't remember. Thor Ragnarok. I don't remember fully. But it was perfect timing. I swear to God, that energetic, like, dramatic song. Perfect timing. Swerve. Breaking laws. As we're driving, me and my sister can't stop, like, laughing about the fact my mom, like, broke laws, as we're calling it. She didn't actually break laws. We start, like, talking about how, like, you know, monkey see, monkey do is, like, child to parent, blah, blah, blah. Like, how I saw a TikTok of someone cutting a fruit in their hand, like, the palm of their hand, and the comments were like, oh my God, don't do that, you're gonna hurt yourself, get a plate, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? what the fuck? Because I see my mom and my dad do that, like, naturally, all the time. My mom's like, well, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, this morning, I was cutting a banana in the palm of my hand. Into my cereal. Because I eat bananas and cereal. Bananas, Frosted Flakes, and cereal. Bananas and Frosted Flakes are yummy. It's delicious. Also, the milk tastes like banana milk. It's yum. It's delicious. I love it. We're talking, blah, 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 blah. We end up reaching the Mexican place my mom wanted to go to for juice. I swear to God, the randomest shit starts happening while my mom is gone. Like, first things first, me and my sister are chatting about how she called this little Mexican kid in her class illegal. And I was like, Ellie, that's racist! Ellie, that's racist! Later today, she actually started screaming, "A Caucasian man is trying to rape me!" At the wall dweller in pressure. She's quite random. We're talking about that. We're laughing. We see people, like, exit their cars or whatever, and we're like, what the hell are these people doing? Why are they wearing all white? My sister's like, I don't know. We watching them through the car. One of them makes eye contact with me. I'm like, And then once they look away and they're, like, in the car, I look back, and they're, like, there's two people, like, wearing the same clothing. They're both wearing white or whatever, like, booty shorts. My sister is calling them. She's like, God damn! She's checking out their asses. I don't know what's wrong with her, okay? My sister needs therapy. She needs a mental asylum, okay? We're watching them. Like, one does, like, a, like, TikTok dance before getting in the car and closing the door. I'm like, what the hell? And me and my sister are, like, laughing about it a little bit. And then one does this to their mom. And we both freak. I'm like, what the fuck was that? They just flip off there, like, what the fuck was that? And it was like, she flip off her. My sister was like, we could not dare. Mom will beat our asses. The girl got in the car, drove off. Me and my sister, what the fuck just happened? My mom, speaking of the devil, fucking comes back in. We're like, Ma, you won't guess what we just fucking saw. We talking in sync at this point. We're like, this girl just flipped off her mother. We talking with fucking sync. I forget to say, Jinx, you owe me a soda. I tell her that all the time whenever we say the same exact shit. We keep talking in sync, like, on accident, you know, sisters, siblings, you know, whatever the hell. And my mom laughs when we tell her that we saw this girl, like, flip off her mom. We're like, what? And she's like, she's fucking laughing. At some point we pull out, and me and my sister are, like, complaining about how this car is parked in front of, like, the two parking places, like, two cars had pulled out of. My mom was like, I don't care, she's not on my way. Talk about how I saw one of the people that were in the car at my school, and I was like, oh. And we're just talking. We go into the tunnel. It's some type of, like, I forgot what it's called. But it's like a tunnel area that sells, like, drinks and, like, a bunch of other things. And it's actually been refurnished today. There's, like, alcohol on the walls now in the place the snacks area was. And there's, and the snacks are back at the back. And the guy actually has a card thing now, which is nice. To my mom, apparently. Which is cool now. Of course he recognizes us because we visit a lot. It's near our house. My sister and my mom had gotten juice. And I ended up getting an American Mountain Dew from the tunnel. an American Mountain Dew. It was called Liberty Chill, and I currently have it on my Mountain Dew collection. I have against an old console that was probably my dad's at some point. I could probably show you that right now, but I'm not moving my iPad. And my sister and my mom had already gotten juice from the Mexican place. So they didn't get anything. My mom got stuff for my dad, got something for my brother, you know, and then we left. We paid and left. I hear my mom. Paid and left. Afterwards, I believe I think we drove home. Yeah, we drove home. When we got home, I like stumbled in. I quickly got rid of all my accessories. I looked emo. My sister was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Whoa, whatever." And now this part, I don't know if I should actually say it because it's more of so a sibling bond than anything, and it might be a little weird to some people. All I'm gonna say, my sister is sitting like in my room. I'm doing something in the bathroom. I tell her, "Close the damn door, I'm gonna take a shit." "Close the damn door, I'm gonna take a shit." And she was like, "Okay." At some point in time, I begged her to bring me my iPad. I had to agree to play Roblox with her to actually get her to bring me my iPad, which was something. I'm not going to explain it in detail because some people might be weirded out. But yeah. Once I get out of the bathroom, I laid down on my bed and I was chilling. My sister ended up coming in the room and was like, "Let's play Pressure." And I was like, "Okay." And we started playing the game. We logged into Roblox, you know, whatever. My brother started banging on the door like, "I want to play too!" He's young, he's 5. He could not play the game. It's like, it would terrify the shit out of him. So, yeah. My sister was all whiny about the fact she gets in trouble and I don't when my brother knocks at the door, and I'm like, I easily lie. I'm a good liar. And I'm able to push off the blame, also because I don't interact with my brother too much. I'm a very socially closed person. I don't interact with my brother unless I want to, which is when I leave my room, I give him a hug, maybe like ruffle up his hair, kiss him on the forehead, whatever the hell. No. Big sibling stuff. Big sibling, little brother stuff. I and my sister, after a bit, me and my sister start playing the game, and chaos ensues, I tell you. Chaos ensues. At some point, I'm like running. I'm fucking running. I'm doing random shit. At some point, I already got like fucking 250 just by seeing a bunch of 50s everywhere, and my sister's like, "Leave stuff for me! What the hell are you doing?" I'm grabbing everything. I'm grabbing all the money I can fucking see. I'm grabbing the expensive shit first. My sister's like, "What the fuck?" My sister and me like panic every time the lights flash. We're like, "Oh shit!" And she's like, "You good?" I'm like, "I'm good." We continue going. At some point, we are walking. We are going. Lights flash. My sister goes in this room. I'm like, "Oh shit!" I go to go in the locker. My sister goes in the locker before me. I go to go in the locker across the room. I'm too late. Just before I can get in, whop! I'm dead. And I had been the braver one. I was the one leading the way as my sister was following behind me. She was like, "Wake the fuck up!" I was like, "No!" Also, my sister at that point in time was sat right here as I'm laying down on my bed. she's like sat on my floor like this, like here, and I'm on my bed like this. So she's next to me. So she's next to me, and I'm hearing the game from her point, cause my volume's off. Like, I hate my volume. Goddamn. I hate my volume. So I'm listening to like everything on her gameplay, and I'm also watching her. She does a bunch of random shit. Also, before, actually no, that was the next round, I think. But we did find this anime like drawing thing, like big whole room. We look at this desk, we're like, is that an anime drawing? No, she looks at the desk and she's like, is that an anime drawing? She's like, over there on the desk. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing over there? And she's like, an anime drawing. And then she's like, I'm trying to take a picture of it. After a bit, I finally go over and like see what the hell she was doing, and I'm like, oh my god, it's anime. We laugh a bit about that, finding the little Easter egg thing. We go to the next room. Whatever the hell. Goddamn. I got a stuffy nose. Okay. Got a stuffy nose. When I die, I'm watching my sister play, you know. Normal stuff, she's screaming about stuff, she's just going on. At some point, my sister is like standing in the doorway. The door's open. She's standing in the doorway, and I see this thing run at her. She walks through the door right before I can get her, and walks down the stairs. Because it's like a stairwell, the door opened to a stairwell. Walks down the stairs before it gets her. And I'm like, holy shit, what just ran at you? She's like, what? She's like, something what? She's instantly panicking on the floor. She's like, I don't want to move from this spot. I'm like, you pussy. And she was like, what the hell ran at me? I'm like, something. I was telling her how I wish I didn't tell her, because she was just hiding in that corner. At some point in time, she turned around and was like, you know what, I give up, I'm going to die. And when she went in, I expected her to die. Instead, no. She didn't die. She looked around the room, didn't find anything, was still panicking. She started running backwards, which I don't know why she was doing. And at some point in time, she finally turned around and came back to the room the thing ran at her. And at that point in time, we didn't know the entity yet, because we still don't fully know the game pressure. We haven't beaten it before, whatever. So, chilling, you know, not chilling, but panicking. My sister goes back to the room, and she sees a thing on the wall. A little body marking on the wall. And my sister is like a fucking wall dweller went after me, and you witnessed it, and I was like, oh shit. My sister was so panicked that she continued. She was like walking backwards, looking behind her as she walked. And we didn't know much about wall dwellers, so we didn't actually know like how it attacked her. She just thought it was gonna come up from behind her and kill her. It actually might have not been a wall dweller or something. It might have been, it might have not, I don't really know. But she continued walking backwards, just staring. She was panicked, that was for sure. At some point in time, she needed a key card, and the lights were out in that room. So she was panicking in the corner, like, I don't want to fucking be here. I was like, you pussy, you continue going, or else I'm not playing the next round with you. We fought for a bit. She was still screaming from next to me. And at some point in time, she finally stopped cowering in the corner and screamed, a fucking Caucasian's gonna fucking rape me! I have a recording of her screaming at the goddamn thing. I swear to God, it was so funny. And she was just, I was like, watch her run around screaming next to me. Run around in game, screaming next to me about a Caucasian. And I know, it's probably like racist or whatever. But God, it was funny to hear her screaming that. I swear to God, it was funny as fuck. And at some point in time, she finally like found the key card, opened the door, and continued on. She continuously yelled at the wall dweller, just non-stop. She was hearing it, but it was not coming after her. We soon later realized that if she stayed in a locker long enough, it would kill her. We didn't know that then, so we just kind of thought it was gonna come after her. We thought it was lurking, waiting. Perfect moment to grab it. So, yeah. So she was very much screaming. I was just laughing as I watched. At some point in time, I started playing music, which I had not been able to do in Roblox before. And I had learned it did work as I was playing games. I just needed to have my volume all the way off, and I needed to have my music on a tab next to me. Actually, on one of my streams, I realized that I could open tabs on the small on the small tab I can open. I didn't know that for a very long time, and I've had this iPad for years now, so it was yeah. But goddamn, I have the hiccups. I played the music. I was just singing along to my song. My sister's hearing it as well, of course, because she's right next to me. Oh God, I have the hiccups. Oh, I might throw up. She ends up seeing Sebastian, and she has a burning, like, fucking passion to, like, she's just angry at him. I don't know why. At some point she flashbangs him, and he just screams, "Get out!" at her, and she kind of just does it again. After a bit of, like, messing with Sebastian, my sister finally stopped and then continued her way. Thing is, she didn't die to, like, wall dweller or anything like that. She died to the locker. You know, the purple thing in the locker. She died to it because she saw the lights flicker. Apparently, she hadn't seen it appear. Thought the locker was empty. Went in the locker and died. At that point in time, my screen had been disconnected because I opened Discord, went back to Roblox, and realized it disconnected me from the game. So she explained it to me, and I was like laughing. I was cackling. I rejoined the game. We talked for a bit, and I finally agree to play the game with her once again. And I remember seeing a video where something killed them at the starting point. So I had convinced my sister to stay at the starting point with me for quite a while. It was a situation. We started going insane. So at the start, we were just kind of vibing, running around like chickens with their head cut off. I was playing my music at the time. Like I had no longer playing this one song on repeat, and I was just playing the silly music I enjoyed. We got chaotic. At some point in time, my sister had like jerked herself into a pipe, and I was like, "Are you fucking the pipe?" And she was like, "I'm in." She got stuck. I was laughing, and she was screeching, and she finally got out. And I was like, oh, how I wish I took a picture of that. I got my pictures because she went back in for round 2, which was a lot funnier because at that point in time, she started doing this against the goddamn pipe. And I have pictures of her like jittering. She was like fucking spasming in the damn pipe trying to get out. I was laughing my ass off, and things were happening. Chaos was ensuing. She somehow like slid out of the pipe, which was something. She like slid out like just like like after all the she was like whoa, and I was like what the fuck was that? And she stopped glitching herself into the pipe, and I tried glitching myself into the pipe, which did not work. It did not work. I somehow couldn't glitch myself into the pipe, but she could glitch herself into the pipe, which was unfair. We continuously started doing random shit. At some point, she like went over to a little like thing that you tie a rope around to hold a ship down, metal thing on a dock or whatever. She called it a hat. I looked at it, and I was like, "That's not a hat." And she was like, "It's a hat." And I'm like, "That's not a hat." And she's like, "It's a hat." And I'm like, "It's a hat?" And she's like, "It's a hat." And I'm like, "It's a hat." At some point she said, oh my god, imagine like walking in on 2 people just crouched in the corner, looking down at something and screaming, "It's a hat!" At that point, I started cackling. Once again, I was laughing my ass off almost that entire gameplay. I swear, we were insane. We are insanity, and we'll always be insanity together. A lot more happened after this. This is like the start of my day. Still. At some point in time, we started baking. Like, IRL. Like, we played Roblox for a while, and then baked for another long while. Stuff happened. Very chaotic stuff happened. So after that, she had what the fuck was it? What the fuck was I talking about? Ugh. At that point, we stopped like gathering around this thing, calling it a hat, and she was like limbo, like down, like upward limbo or whatever, and started spinning around, looking up at the air like, whoa! Good night. I have not paid attention to any comments. I've just been telling my story. This has been going on for an hour. God damn. I am a storyteller. And this happened in a whole day, actually. I'm not surprised. And I tell things in quite a lot of detail. But after the whole limbo thing, I took a few pictures of that, actually. I took a few pictures of her leaning back, staring at the fucking sky while spinning in circles. After that, I was glitching myself into a corner saying, "I'm shoving my ass in here!" And she was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm shoving my ass in here!" Which was something. I did not read any of that. Oh. Actually, okay, that was from Mama. I'll read it. I honestly would fall asleep to you rambling to me. It's strangely soothing. Understandable. I do ramble quite a lot, but normally when I ramble to people, they also are ramblers, so I don't normally get to ramble. I conversate. And it's not as exciting. I do like conversating with people. Like, I do like talking back and forth between people because sometimes I can't keep up with, like, rambling because I don't have enough things to talk about. And my brain ends at some point. So having someone conversating with me and changing the topic from time to time is helpful. But I do need, but sometimes I can, go on and on, like I already have been for an hour. But anyway, after that, I shoved my ass in a corner. At some point in time, I was like slamming my head against the door, like doing random shit. And she was like, "What is in this box?" There's a black thing in this box, and I was like, "What? Huh?" I go over to the box. I look inside the box. I look a little bit. I'm like, "Is that a cat?" And she was like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" I look, and I'm like, "Is that Maxwell the cat?" You know the meme. And through this little sliver of a box, I move around it a little bit so I'm aimed perfectly. And I look in, and it's fucking Maxwell the cat. The whole ass meme, but like, the cat in a pressure box at the start. And my sister and me, we cannot get enough of it. Because we had just found like an Easter egg that we did not know existed at all. And we laughed our asses off. We did a lot of shit in that room that should not have been done. We stayed so long in there for no reason. What is this? Zappy, please go to sleep. Snowy. No. Please don't tell me to go to sleep. I'm not one to go to sleep. I'm also not tired. Currently it is 11 p.m. for me. And I don't sleep because I have sleeping problems. I have not slept last night, and I'm normally not gonna sleep tonight. Oh, okay, bye, Mama. Please don't tell me to sleep. It's one of my boundaries as the fact I have a problem with sleeping and always have had a problem with sleeping ever since I was like 7, 8-ish. I'm fine with like requesting if I can sleep, or at least like try to go to sleep. Right now, no. That is a no. Don't beg me to go to sleep, please. Or try to verbally force me, as it is part of my boundaries. And I'll end the stream here, or actually no, I won't end the stream here. I'll just, turn comment off, whatever. Ignore comment. Anyway, so we saw Maxwell the cat. We were fucking laughing our asses off at that. At some point in time, I banged my head against the wall. She was like, "What the fuck? This looks so funny." We were going insane. She looked at the control panel and was like, "It's your iPad!" I was like, "iPad?" I ran over, looked at the damn thing, and was like, "My baby!" And then went back to slamming my head against the door and was like, "Ah!" And then we actually did it because we had been there for like 20, 30 minutes. So we left and we go and, did that. Chaos ensued. A lot of chaos ensued actually because I was still playing music, and I was just kind of speed running through it. Like, I was not grabbing money at all. My sister was right behind me. I was like, "No grabbing, no stopping, go!" After like 3 doors in, we ended up having a key card and like had to like search around for that shit. After a bit, we continued running. I don't think we even got to Sebastian when we died. Because I don't quite remember how I died. I do remember finding a toaster. And the toaster talked. And my sister had met it before, and she was very happy to see it again. I was confused as fuck. It was something. Very much something. I have a lot of photos of what happened. I believe at some point I died to the angler again. I think we both died at the same time. I believe we both got into lockers and then ended up getting kicked out of the lockers, and we were violently pressing our screens to get back into them, and it was like, you need to calm down first. And it didn't work. We both died. Same floor. Same time. It was a dumb move, and we realized we probably shouldn't have entered the locker so early. My back hurts from leaning forward. My sister and me after that, we ended up playing some, like, Inside Out 2 Tycoon, which was stupid as fuck. And just a lot of funny things happened before we finally stopped playing because my sister's phone died and she was hungry, so she left. I kind of just AFK'd, leaving my iPad there, and then followed after her. We got distracted. You see, we got very distracted. And ended up finding a frosting container. And I went, let's make cupcakes! So me and her ended up outside, following after my mom, asking if we could make cupcakes. My mom just told us to clean up after our mess when we're done, and so we ran off to go make cupcakes. We grabbed cake batter that apparently expired in March, but my mom told us it's okay because it's dry ingredients. We didn't care. We used it anyway. The frosting itself was meant to expire in September of this year. So my sister and me started baking. I forced her to clean a bowl out as I got the ingredients. My mistake was leaving the eggs on the edge of the counter. Because my sister at some point was attempting to open the box of dry ingredients. I handed her the scissors. She took the scissors. I watched her elbow lightly push the eggs. My brain didn't even process it. She opened the box and poured it in, and I went to her other side, passing behind her and looking as she poured the box in. And then there were two loud cracks, as we didn't notice the eggs were rolling up the counter because we had bumped into them. So 2 of them had cracked on the floor, and 1 left survivor, because there was 3 eggs. Panic chaos and hijinks ensued. I blamed my sister, like, you bumped into him! And she was like, I did not bump into them, you did! And we started fighting. And my sister like, this is not sibling bonding! And I was like, ah! She ended up cleaning up the eggs. At some point in time, I yelled about salmonella on the floor. And as she was cleaning up the eggs, I started pouring the oil into the measuring cup. Now you see, I'm a clumsy person, but normally I'm not usually this clumsy. So as I'm pushing it, as I'm pouring it, my hand twitches a bit, just a little bit, and there's oil everywhere. It overspills, and there's oil everywhere. Not everywhere. There's not oil everywhere. There's oil all over the counter. I pour the measuring cup of oil into the bowl and look at the oil on the counter and go, whoopsies. My sister's like, what did you do? My sister doesn't even ask what I did. I'm like, I just poured oil all over the counter. I'm a little clumsy. Whoops. Just awkwardly standing there, trying to screw on the cap of the oil cap back on because it's all slippery and my hands are slippery because there's whole oil all over. There's oil. There's vegetable oil on my fingers, on my hands, and on the counter. So there was 2 eggs on the floor, vegetable oil on the counter, and water was being splashed everywhere because whenever my sister washed her hands, she had to do this to me. At some point she had like a cup of water in her hands and ended up like getting water everywhere on the floor along with the eggs still being on the floor. And I think that the counter is still a little greasy because I did wipe it off. I did quickly like wipe the oil off the counter after washing off my hands. But I think it's probably still a little slippery. I ended up putting on my flip-flops so I didn't have to I ended up putting on my flip-flops so I didn't step on the remaining egg. My sister had already picked up most of it and it wasn't really noticeable anymore, but I still didn't want to get my feet on raw egg. So put my flip-flops on, my loud flip-flops. They're fucking making a slapping noise every time my feet hits the ground. And after that, she mostly took over. The only thing I really did was make more of a mess as I cracked eggs into the bowl. I dirtied my hands so much doing that. At some point in time, me, had realized we did not set the oven to preheat. So we set that. After she had already stirred it all up again, which was, yeah. I just completely forgot my thought process. After my sister had already stirred it up and whatever, we realized that we didn't preheat the oven. So we preheated the oven. And decided to get decorations instead as we waited. My sister took down the Oh god, I'm taking my boots off. My sister took down the Christmas sprinkles, the Christmas like spring cookie decorations that we always had in our pantry, and still have in our pantry. We picked out the sprinkles we wanted. I ended up picking out these like neon ones. Me and I did put them back, but I picked out these neon ones. My sister picked out this like big container with like stars in it and whatever. And I asked my mom if it's okay if we put sprinkles on the cake, and she was like, I will not eat it if there are sprinkles on it. Which was upsetting. In the end, my mom was all like, you're having a creative outburst. You know what? The creative inspiration. Put sprinkles on that cake. And I didn't want to put sprinkles on the cake because I didn't want my mom not to eat it. And at some point in time, we did give in and accepted to put sprinkles on the cake. My sister was very happy because she was very upset over the fact I was like, no, we're not putting sprinkles on the cake, even though our moms had started saying, you can put sprinkles on the cake. So, it was something. Afterwards, my sister went off to go do stuff in her room. I sat down next to my mom and watched my mom's show with her. I got distracted quite quickly, actually. My sister was off in her room doing something. I was watching the TV, and my mom was like, "Kate, didn't you have a cake? Did you set the timer?" And I was like, it's not even in the oven. Wait, did the preheating beep? And so I had gotten up in a little bit of a panic, like, oh shit, did it beep? Or am I hallucinating? No, I was not hallucinating. It had beeped, and it had completely went over my head. I put the pan in the oven. My sister had already oiled it and put the batter in before she went to her room. So all I did was merely put it in. My sister did not go to her room. She went to my room. So I merely put it in the oven, and then in the hot oven, and went over to my sister. And I did not go over to my sister. I went over to my iPad to go set the timer, only to find my sister on my iPad, looking through my Roblox, and she was like, I'm trying to find the messages you texted towards your friends, and I'm like, you're on Roblox, not Discord, and she was like, oh? I'm looking for Discord. I swear, it felt so dumb at the time. She looked so dumb at the time. To me, at least, because I know there are people who don't, who probably are confused with the whole thing of iPads because they're all, they're complicated. I had not had one for a while, and I used tablets for a very long time until I got my iPad. And my iPad took me a bit to get used to. But I did get used to it, and I am used to it, and I use it a lot. I showed my sister that she was on the wrong page after I set the timer. I set the timer and showed my sister the messages and showed her that no one had responded to them because she was asking about the messages I sent to my whole group chat, my friend group chat, about finding a secret, a little Easter egg in. Hello. May I eat your glasses? No. Actually, remind me to push them up because they're falling. I need them. They're prescripted. My sister ended up watching as I showed her like through my gallery. She showed me through her gallery. We were just like showing each other pictures back and forth, doing random stuff. At some point we were just chilling together. The timer beeped. I went off to the kitchen to go check on the cake. The cake was still liquid in the middle. It was raw in the middle. So my sister and me ended up hanging in the kitchen. I sat like 5 minutes for like 30 minutes. 5 minutes each. It took forever. And then, because at some point my sister was like, it's fully cooked, you're gonna burn it. And I was like, no, it's still liquid in the middle. And she was like, no, it's not. You're gonna burn it. And she looked to my dad, who actually is a very good cook. Bye. She looked to my dad, who is a very good cook. And my dad told me to stick a fork in it, which I did. Bye. Good night. Okay, bye. Night. I stuck a fork in it. It was liquid. I proved my sister wrong, and we set it for another like 10-ish minutes ish. It was till like 8:20. It took a bit, but finally the cake got out, and I had asked my mom to pull it out because I did not want to burn myself, because I'm not good at taking the cake out. I'm good at putting it in. I'm not good at taking it out. I almost always burn myself somehow when doing it. I either burn myself or I drop the thing entirely. So I asked my mom to do it. My mom took it out, set it on top, told us that if we want the frosting to actually go on smoothly, then we should probably put it on now because it'll melt. My mom asked if we tried it first, which we didn't. And when we tried it, it tasted like crayons. I swear to God, it tasted so bad. And my whole reason for baking was ruined. So now we had a cake with no frosting. My mom said she could make the meringue or a frosting out of just egg whites. To which my sister did not like that frosting and said no. Which I actually would have preferred than the frosting we picked, considering the outcome of the frosting we picked. My mom instead said that she was gonna go look for a different recipe online. And my sister went back to her room, and I sat down on the floor, started researching on my iPad ways to make frosting. Because when I looked for my mom to ask if she was done looking for frosting recipes yet, my mom was outside in the backyard talking to my dad, and I guess that she probably got distracted or something. So I sat down on the floor of the kitchen on my iPad and started searching up like ways to make frosting. At that point in time, I was exhausted, but I did not sleep because I did not go to sleep because it was like 9-ish, not 9-ish. It was like 8-ish, still 8-ish. So okay, that's fine. It was still 8-ish, but I was tired because I had not slept that night and I had a long day. But I did not sleep. I researched, and at some point in time, my mom came in and told me about her recipe, and I was like, oh, she actually did research. And I put my own thoughts into it, telling her about my own recipe that I found, and kind of mixed it together a bit. and we started creating a frosting. Not we, more so her, because I ended up like sat on the ground, hugging my legs to my chest because I was tired. I was basically, I was like this, sat on the ground because I was tired. I was not much of help to my mom. Once she had finished the frosting, she told me to come over and taste it. I tasted it. At that point in time, I was hit with flavor, and I was like, oh my god, that's strong. And she was like, a bad strong? And I was like, eh. And she tasted it for herself, and she's like, no, it's a good strong. It's like French vanilla, like the French vanilla ice cream. And I was like, yeah. And I agreed. Which I shouldn't have. So, once we called my sister in, we spread the frosting on top of the cake that was already pretty cooled, actually. And me and my sister started placing sprinkles on top of it. My mom returning to her station. Not her station, but her spot on the couch watching her show. And I kind of just finished, took a few pictures of the cake, and then put it in the microwave and said, we'll eat it tomorrow. My mom, after a while of me just like chilling in my room for a bit, came in my room and was like, can we please get into the cake? I want to try the cake. And I was like, but tomorrow. And she was like, I have to go to your brother's school tomorrow. And I was like, okay, fine. So we called over my sister. We went into the living room. Not the living room, the kitchen. My dad was also in the kitchen at that point in time, but he was not trying the cake with us. We cut up the cake. Not cut up the cake. We cut our slices. Served the slices and tried the cake. Now let me tell you, the first few bites, yum, delicious. When I was like halfway done-ish with the slice of cake I had, which was a small slice, considering the fact I have a small stomach and cannot handle too much sugar. Like small appetite, not small stomach, like small appetite, whatever. Now let me tell you, it all turned around when both me and my sister quickly became disgusted. Suddenly the flavor was like too much, too vanilla-y, like too sweet. It was absolutely disgusting. Pure sugar, tasted like Play-Doh. It didn't taste good anymore. It did not taste like French vanilla. And my sister agreed. She attempted to continue eating it even though she didn't like it, which was something. My mom liked it, which was the only reason those plates got finished. I nearly threw up, and chaos. My sister at some point finally gave up on trying to eat it and went back to her room. I also gave up a while ago, grabbed a cup of water mixed with some juice because I cannot drink straight up water. But I also didn't want to drink straight up juice due to the fact my stomach hurt and I felt like throwing up because of sugar. And also the strong vanilla flavor that damn cake tasted like. Not cake, but frosting. Tasted like. I went into my room. I started watching a few YouTube videos, drinking the juice slowly to make sure I didn't drink it too fast to make myself end up not throwing up. And after a while, I finally finished the cup, Jitters responded to some messages I had sent them a bit before when I had returned to my room as the cake was baking. And I ended up on a call with Jitters. As I was on that call, I started, what was it called? Rambling, like I am, like I have this entire live. I started rambling about my whole day and like what I had just told, what I had just said. And then after a while, I was like, okay, this is turning into a conversation. I think I'd rather ramble. And I told Jitters and FedEx, because FedEx at that point in time was there, I told them, I'm gonna go live stream and ramble on live for everyone to hear. I'm gonna edit this so that this is just called story time with Zappy. And that's what led me to where I am here in this room with this. How long has this been? 91 hours was not at all. 91 minutes, so an hour and a few, like an hour. So 9 is like that. Take away 6. An hour and 30 minutes. 32 minutes. Type of stream. It might be a little longer. I'm not good at counting the time or whatever. But that was my day. I hope you enjoyed this, because now I'm going to end it because my ramble is done and I no longer have anything to talk about. I hope to the people that stayed to get a good night rest and actually go spend like their time doing something productive, not listening to a 14-year-old ramble about their day. That's all I have to say. Bye. I'll see you another day.